Hello and good morning. Welcome to the Hindus IPL Show, where we will review yesterday's games and also look forward to the two games today. As always, we have Vidyut with us, former CSK and Tamil Nadu player. Vidyut, what a day was it yesterday?
Yeah.
1,000 runs, nearly 1,000 runs in two matches.
Yeah,
Unbelievable stuff.
brilliant. I think entertainment point of view, amazing. But being a bowler at this time is,
Exactly.
not the best suited, option nowadays. I think everybody wants to become a batter when they
Yeah.
grow up. But having said that, I think afternoon game in Arun Jaitley Stadium can be really brutal for the bowlers because we know the dimensions are very small,
Yeah.
maybe 55 to 60 meters, and then so if the pitch is good there, which it was yesterday,
Yeah.
the batters can really make merry, and that's what they did. But chasing 250 plus with so much of ease was amazing to see. It shows what a team Punjab Kings are turning out to be. They've been in great form. They just believe they can chase any target, and it was very evident the way they played yesterday.
Yeah.
They if you're going to get 100 plus in the first 6 overs, you are going to chase any target. Not even 250, even 280 you will chase. But that's how it's become. Whether the contest is even between bat and ball, is nowhere close to it. The bat is dominating, by a huge margin. But
Yeah.
like I said, entertainment point of view, it's great. But cricketing point of view, we have to discuss and see whether we are going in the right direction.
Yeah, so you touched upon a lot of points that I wanted to make. Let's start with the DC game itself.
Yeah.
Brilliant knock from KL Rahul, 150 runs, and the way he accelerated, he got 25 balls, 50, then it became 20, the next 50 came of 20, 22 balls, and the next 50 came in like 18, 19 balls. And he kept it very simple, very clean hitting, straight down the ground. Just talk us through KL's knock, because he showed that you could still be very technically sound and without having to do a lot of these other things, and you could still score at a brisk rate.
Yeah, actually, I have a lot of respect, and I admire KL Rahul a lot for a couple of things. I worked with him very briefly in the KPL when I was a coach in the Karnataka Premier League. But what has happened to KL Rahul is everybody knows what a player he is, how much talent he possesses, and how much value he adds to the team. But it's not been an easy journey for him because he's always been somebody who's like I've said before, like the senior Rahul Dravid. One day is at number 3, one day is at number 6, one day is opening. You go to England, you take him as opener. You come back to a home series, maybe he's batting at number 5, number 6 to accommodate somebody else. Sometimes he has to stand in the slips for long periods of time. So, but what he has done, listen, I've been through the journey a little bit because from 11, 8, 7, so I know it can be mentally taxing sometimes, but I think KL Rahul has used it very positively and slowly got the better in him. You see, I'm not surprised at all because he's enjoying Delhi Capitals. He's not captaining the side. He's just coming. He likes a secure environment because he had a tough time in LSG when he led the team.
Yeah.
He couldn't play with the freedom he wanted to. But two things. One is, like I said, just it shows that, as an opener, if you bat till the end, the last 4-5 hours you can just toy around, and that's what KL Rahul did. So great news for them. Very surprising and gutted he'll be feeling to end up in the losing side, but brilliant. He is. See, we spoke about that. We spoke about Nisanka Rahul playing an important role, and KL Rahul has had a couple of good knocks. Form was never an issue, but yesterday he showed what he's capable of. And although DC lost yesterday, I think it augurs well for them because if he's going to fire in the top, if they can just get a few areas settled here and there, they should start winning again.
Yeah. And also about Punjab, let's talk about the Punjab chase. You're sitting in the dugout, 260 runs to chase.
Yeah.
What goes on in your mind? It's unfathomable that they even believed at that point that they could chase it. And to do it, if they wished, they could have even hunted it down in 18 overs. It's just they took over 5 balls extra, actually. That's how easy the chase was. Granted, they lost Lungi to a very unfortunate injury. But just talk us through that. Prabsimran's and Shreyas as well.
Yeah, and obviously Priyan Sharia setting it up as well. Like we said, getting 100 plus in 6 overs, you're setting the trend beautifully, and that's what they've been doing. Prabsimran is somebody who is rated very highly by the great Sachin Tendulkar, and when he says something, he has an eye for talent. The way he's been playing, what I really like about Prabsimran is the way he's evolved this year. He was somebody who got brilliant 20-30s but couldn't continue. We always knew his striking ability, but now he's worked on that. I think the Ponting effect is also showing in all these youngsters, but the wide array of shots is unbelievable. You bowl up, he hits you. He has a short arm jab which hits you there. He hits spin well. We spoke about Vaibhav Suryavanshi's backlift. Prabsimran is not far behind. He really has a amazing backlift with great bat speed as well, and he's pretty still. He doesn't move around too much, which he's doing this year. Last year he tried to be, too much of movement in the crease, which you don't want to have as a batter, which will happen in T20 cricket. Where this year he's a lot more still. And the belief, to tell you very honestly, one place where you can chase 250 is Ferozshah Kotlam. So that belief would have automatically come because they just realized
ground
that
as well?
very small, very very small, just like maybe 55, 57. And I think the far end towards the onside, because they played in the corner pitch, the leg side boundary became very easy then. So it was. It was definitely gettable. I'm not saying DC were 10, 15 runs short. They weren't. Just that, they were not sharp in the field yesterday.
Yeah.
They dropped a lot of catches where it mattered the most. And I think that was the difference. I don't think bowling-wise, they weren't bad. They could have been better, obviously. But I think when you drop so many catches, especially against a team like Punjab Kings, you are going to lose games.
At the start of the show, you spoke about bowlers and bowling and stuff. Whether it's the game is loaded in favor of the batters. Let's also break it down. If you could just break it down, like, did you see anything that was even the bowlers? There were parts in that match where the bowlers were really spraying it around. Like Vaishak bowled one really poor over, and so did Mukesh when those two openers were going at it. Is there something the bowlers can do, or is it just the pressure of getting hit then that throws them off their radar?
Yeah, see, the margin for error is very little. Very, very less. Sometimes even a low full toss goes for six. And a lot of batters, if you see nowadays, when the so-called power hitting era started, and you have a lot of batters staying deep in the crease, they don't move more. It's become like a baseball stance where they keep their feet wide, just waiting to hit over the top, and anything little bit here and there disappears. So having said that, I think the best ball to bowl is the Yorker. If you can execute the Yorker well, at least 5 or 6 deliveries. There are very few people who can, come inside, dig a Yorker and hit it over square leg for 6. Maybe A.B. de Villiers had that, special talent to do that. Glenn Maxwell to a larger extent. But if you can bowl Yorkers in these kind of conditions, maybe that's the only ball which can save you. I think Anshul Kamboj has had it very well for CSK, coming round the wicket and bowling wide Yorkers. So that's why if you see, he's right on top. It's not easy to bowl a Yorker, but I think in these kind of conditions, the only way to go is bowling Yorkers. And when we talk about the margin for error, if the Yorker turns out to be a slight, lower full toss, it disappears into the stand. So it's easier said than done. And I think that's where, we need to see how we can find the balance between bat and ball.
Yeah.
T20 will always be a batter's sport, but, I just feel it's going a little out of hand, but the bowlers have no chance. So, especially spinners, that's why people favor fast bowlers, because they have some chance, but spinners, you cannot deceive the batter on the flight. Little bit here and there, the ball disappears. So we have to see how we can get the game little more aligned, where the bowlers have a chance to at least do something when the conditions get tough. A place like Ekana, some bowlers have something. Some conditions you see that the bowler can come into Guwahati as another centre, but all these other centres, it's just too much in favour of the batters.
What is the pitches the only solution to slightly, get the balance between bat and ball closer?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you're restricted by the outfield size in the ground.
Yeah, and the bats are so good. Obviously, you have to give a lot of credit to the batters. They train a lot more for T20 cricket. Power hitting has become such an important factor. Even a lot of young kids want to do it, so they are very sure about what they want to do. If you're going to play 20 balls, I have to get, I have to maximize that. So, the way kids are training now is very different. So they are coming in realizing that if it's here, I can hit the ball out of the park. So, yes, I think pitches can be the only factor. Obviously, they're trying to get the bat restriction where they're trying to see they cannot be beyond the thickness. So, they are trying to do certainly. They've got the 2 bouncers into play. Maybe they can think of, if a bowler bowls 3 dot balls, he gets a reward for something. Something can be done. Maybe a -2 for the batter. I don't know if it's going to work, but you can think something, because 3 dot balls in a T20 game is brilliant. Because before, at least the first over, you'll to have a look, but now they're swinging from ball 1. Suryavanshi is coming in. Priyansh Arya, Suryavanshi is hitting the first ball for 6. First 4. Abhishek Sharma hits the first ball for 6. Ishan Kishan comes and hits the first ball for 6. That's how the game is changing. So we have to think about how we can get the bowlers more into play.
You mentioned Suryavanshi, so it's a good segue to go into the second game of the day yesterday.
Yeah.
Again, another centurion and nearly 230 runs on board, and then the chases, they do it in a canter. So again, let's talk about the second game, SRH versus RR. You spoke about how SRH are coming together, and you spoke yesterday about Cummins being, in terms of giving a boost to the bowling. And The man
He was
delivered
the best
yesterday.
bowler, yeah,
4 hours. I mean, in a game
Yeah.
where nearly 500 runs are
Yeah,
scored, and he
yeah.
goes 4 overs, 27 for 1.
Brilliant,
And
yeah.
2 overs in the power play as well.
Yes, yes. So see, that's what this format is all about. You understand what to do in this format. It becomes slightly easier for you. But Cummins, having come back from a long layoff, he understood that in these conditions, this is what I need to do. One is knowing, one is doing, and he's able to execute beautifully. So see, I think SRH. I know it's a very early prediction to make, but they have a great chance to win the trophy this year because I honestly feel, when you have batting, and Ishan Kishan has come in and made such a difference. So, see, last couple of years back, they didn't have the Ishan Kishan factor. So they depended a lot on, the top two, Abhishek and Travis Head,
and Klaasen a bit.
Yeah, Klaasen a bit, and then there was a slump. But Ishan Kishan coming in, fantastic pick by them. That has also given a lot more freedom. So he holds the middle order and he's also able to score at 160 plus. So, it's going to be very different. And Pat Cummins, like we said, he's coming in. He's also added so much of value. If they can get maybe Shivang, he had an off day yesterday, but he'll also come good. So, I think they are looking really dangerous. It's going to be very difficult to stop them. RCB and Punjab Kings are two other top teams. CSK coming well, but this is a very dangerous squad because even in a place like Jaipur where the boundaries are slightly bigger than Delhi, they just went through the chase very easily. No fuss at all. Just came just another day for us in the office and finished off things and went. Abhishek Sharma, brilliant as usual. Travis Head form can be a slight concern, but again, Ishan Kishan is doing great things. Henrik Klaasen is again, holding the middle order so well together. So just brilliant. And I don't believe in the speaking too early, peaking too late, like we saw Punjab Kings yesterday. So you just continue playing good cricket. You will have the odd off day. And that's what they will be hoping. It's not about peaking early, peaking late. You want to have the off day during the group stage and not during the eliminator or qualifier. So if that doesn't happen for SRH, I think they're going to be a very difficult team to beat this year.
They're very, very well-rounded side as well. A factor in both these chases yesterday we saw was a lot of drop catches. If you can just throw, because and these were all very regulation catches that were being put down yesterday. So if you could just talk us about, is it pressure, is it about moist hands or whatever, what the lights, or because these were, international caliber cricketers. Jadeja dropping a real sitter at point of Abhishek when he was like 20-30, and Karun Nair dropping of consecutive overs. Those are things that could have changed the outcome of both these games yesterday.
Definitely, I think.
So if you can just talk us about fielding and the challenge of fielding and what it entails.
See, when we started the IPL, obviously we weren't exposed too much to fielding under the lights much. It was just maybe a couple of days before the game, and then you're straight away, in the lights. So it is challenging. Some grounds can be even more challenging, like Mohali, the lights, they have 18 towers, and because the airport, because the flights landing, they are not very high. So sometimes the ball just comes, straight from the lights. It can be difficult. Some grounds do, pose a threat with regard to fielding. But having said that, the game has evolved so much in IPL, 18, 19 years down the line. I think everybody fields under lights every day. They practice catching, in the deep. So I don't think preparation is actually a problem. Obviously, there will be pressure for youngsters playing in front of 50,000 people, 60,000 people. What is challenging is the in-between time. When you play an evening game, that between 6 to 7, where the artificial light is fading and the natural light comes into play. That can be the challenge. I think even Shashank Singh's catch yesterday, I remember one match we played against KKR the first year in front of 1 lakh people, the old Eden Garden Stadium. That twilt time, it's around 5:36. And Albi Mokal bowled. Salman Butt was playing and he hit a shot. I was in short wicket. I just saw the ball coming to my face and I just, backed on the last minute, hit my hand and fell down. And again, lot of colours in the background. So as professionals, obviously you can't complain. And why I'm saying this, 2008 was a lot more challenging because we didn't have that kind of exposure. Now you play even domestic. You have your all state leagues, everything. So you play in lights day and day. So that can't be an excuse. Pressure can definitely play on a player's mind. Definitely not for somebody like a Jadeja. For Jadeja, those things happen. You catch 15, you will drop a sitter. Unfortunately, it happened yesterday. But for other people, sometimes the pressure can play in your mind. Sometimes the ball travels quicker than what you expect. So it is a concern because what's happened is it started from Virat Kohli. He was dropped in the first ball. You know what happened. Suryavanshi was dropped by Aniket Verma. You saw what happened. Shreyas Iyer was dropped. He won the game for his side. KL Rahul was dropped by
Dropped
Shashank Singh. He
Shashank
ended
Singh,
up
yeah.
scoring 150.
150.
I think except the Travis head drop by Dhruv
Jurel,
Jurel,
yeah.
all the other players actually have benefited from the drop catch and they have ended up winning the game for the side, barring KL Rahul, of
Rahul.
course. So you can't afford to do that in T20 cricket. Unfortunately, that's how the game
Yeah.
is. It's also, we spoke about social media and all these things. You're going to be scrutinized a lot. Aniket Verma will be feeling it a lot more than what maybe players felt it 15, 20 years
Yeah.
back. But that's how the game goes, and that's why I think a good, secure environment can make a difference. So the teams will look to address that, but it's going to play a big role, especially in the business end of the tournament. You drop catches for quality players, they will come back and hurt you.
Okay, let's go on to today's games. We have a game in about 4-5 hours
Yeah.
now.
Just down the road, yeah.
They're just down the road from where we are sitting.
Yeah.
CSK versus GT. Your thoughts? CSK slightly again now getting their momentum back. They have a settled squad
Yeah.
to an extent. So,
Yeah.
Your thoughts on this game?
Just parked the car and came here. It's brutally hot.
Hot.
It is very
I
hot
know.
afternoon game. Yes. In fact,
Yeah, exactly.
our cameraman came yesterday. He walked from the station to here, and he was like, dripping in sweat. So that's how it's going to be. But I feel CSK are slightly better prepared for this. Like we have been saying, peaking at the right time. This is going to be a crucial game for them. GT are just coming from a loss. They have not got much time. Again, really dependent on the top three. But I think CSK has played the afternoon games well before. Obviously, the fitter side, small things was able to run better. It's not going to be maybe a mega big scoring contest, and maybe 170 will be challenging to get, because when the heat is so much, the pitch will dry, spinners may come into play. There's not going to be much of dew factor. So taking all these things into condition, maybe I think Gujarat have to think about getting Sai Kishore in. He will enjoy bowling in these conditions. I think they will make that change. But I definitely feel CSK have the upper hand. Somebody like a Sarfraz will enjoy playing these kind of games, because these kind of conditions, you have to play the sweep and reverse sweep and be busy. You just can't keep hitting through the line. So I really feel CSK have all the areas covered. Akil Hussain is going to play a crucial role. Noor is coming, like I said, peaking at the right time. He is peaking at the right time as a bowler for CSK. All looking good for them. I definitely feel they have the upper hand today.
I want to mention this. We spoke about Noor Ahmed like before CSK won the first game.
Yes, and you wrote a beautiful article as well. Yeah.
So you in that article you spoke about Noor getting a support from the other end. Where to get the best out of Noor, you need another spinner from the other end to control things.
Yeah.
And every game that Akil has played, Noor has bowled really well. Yeah. So just talk us through that partnership and how crucial that will be.
I think that's you've got a fantastic point. How as a bowler, when you have somebody backing you the other end, it makes a big difference. So two things we spoke about Noor. One is support, and two is he needs to be a little more braver with bowling a little slower and imparting more spin. And I think sometimes when the team is losing, you will hesitate to do that. Okay, let me just bowl my overs quickly and see. But here, once he starts winning, he is more at ease. And when Noor is bowling well, two things will happen. He's not going to give too many runs, and he picks up wickets in the middle overs. So that's what's been happening for now. So especially in the afternoon game, 4 overs, this is 8 overs. We talk about the spin choke. If they can do that and not, give too much away for Shubman Gill, Sai Sudarshan, who's been brilliant form, and Josh Butler, it's going to be a big challenge for GT.
You spoke about CSK. Obviously, there are a lot of things going well, but also at the same time, Ruturaj's form is a huge worry. And you said you felt he was in good touch, but why is the runs coming? And how much of a pressure he is under?
So I don't think he's under too much pressure now with regard to the team. I'm sure he's played enough cricket to realize that we've got a set combination. We are back to the winning ways. So I think he can focus a little more on his batting. And why I'm saying that he's not in. There's nothing to worry about, because he's striking the ball well. Sometimes in T20, the adrenaline gets to you. After 20, you just play a rash shot. That's what happened last game. But I still repeat, the shot he played between mid-on and mid-wicket, against the spinner, again, Allah Ghasanfar, that was brilliant. The way he's timing the ball is good. Again, I repeat, somebody like a Nicholas Puran's out of form. He's just struggling to get bat to ball. But Ruturaj Gaikwad, and I'm just hoping and praying that he is going to peak at the right time. We've spoken about stories like Shane Watson having a very poor, first half or second half of the tournament, coming when it matters the most. He showed what a champion he is. Ruturaj Gaikwad has proved that before. I'm just hoping for CSK that it will happen, and I have a very strong feeling that it's going to happen. The big games, I feel he's going to do something special.
If you can also speak a bit on Shivam Dubey, he's also had a quiet tournament. He's coming after a high of the World Cup, and Do you see any concerns on that front for CSK there?
See,
in the middle order?
yeah, I won't say again concerns. He's a much more powerful striker of the ball. He's just not got his A game yet. But again, don't write him off as well, because we've seen what he's done for Team India. A lot of times we've undervalued him. He's come and got 20-25 very crucial runs, which helped India, cross the line. So I feel he'll do the same for CSK very soon. Again, I'm not very concerned about these people. I just feel that they will get 1 or 2 knocks, which is really going to elevate the game. And once we get into the knockouts, I think CSK will really get the best game. And they've done it before. You've seen a lot of times CSK, when it comes to a knockout, we have certain players really standing out. And I feel Ruturaj and Shivam Dubey will do that.
Since you're a local boy here, you know the conditions. If you can just talk about the conditions for an afternoon game in Chepauk, which is the best. I mean, the dew is not a big factor. So, but still, would you want to? I mean, CSK has won all their games defending totals here.
Yeah.
Would you still prefer that CSK go and put runs on the board? We're going to be playing on pitch number 6, which is a predominantly black soil pitch, which was used in the KKR game. That's what I heard yesterday. So what will be your approach for that?
Bat first. Afternoon game, you have to bat first. And we have 2 spinners who are bowling well. There's not going to be due to, spoil their rhythm. So get 180. When you bat first, it's going to be very difficult to chase. That's why, especially for a team who's so dependent on the top 3, and they will feel the heat. They will literally feel the heat and also feel the heat while chasing. It will be a challenge. And that's why I think CSK just need to bat first and be smart about how they're going to get to 170, 180 and put pressure on GT.
And final game today, LSG versus KKR. A really tough time for both those sides, actually.
I
mean, we should still talk about them. Despite, I mean, their run to the playoffs is now pretty much very slim, because considering Punjab, SRH, RR,
and
RCB, sorry, RCB, Punjab, and SRH are
and CSK.
Already,
I feel these are going to be the 4 teams that are going to qualify. Just
because right now, there's pretty much basically all the teams are now fighting for the 4th spot, because the top 3 have pulled away from the pack a bit there.
And a victory for CSK today will almost seal things for them. So that's how it's going to be. So like you said, it's going to be a game where there's not much at stake for these 2 teams, LSG and.
What do you want to see from them? Try youngsters.
Prepare for next year. Obviously, you have that, obviously you're not going to throw in the towel so early and say we're not going to qualify. We will push it. But at the same time, you need to see how we're going to, get the best players for next year. Obviously, LSG seems slightly better, but Cameron Green is coming into good form. Rinku Singh, we spoke about that. Rinku Singh has started contributing, so it's going to be a close game. I just feel LSG are slightly ahead in terms of,
playing at home as well.
Playing at home as well. They understand the conditions better, so slight favor towards them.
Okay. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll come back later this week. Thank you.